Hey everyone, I'm here at the ITC Connect conference here in Las Vegas, and I've got some friends here that I want to share with you what they're doing. They're doing something pretty cool. It's Cowbell, and I've got Rajeev here.
Hey everyone.
And I want him to share with you a little bit more about what they are doing. They've actually had some really crazy progress in the last, probably months?
6 months.
6 months. And so Rajeev, tell us a little bit about what Cowbell is exactly.
Well, so Cowbell actually is all about closing the insurability gap in the cyber insurance market. Today, the problem in the cyber insurance market is nobody's really doing it right. Nobody's really assessing the risk right, and as a result of that, everything else just falls apart. The coverage premiums are low. The coverage limits are not right for the markets that they're serving. The underinsurers are not very comfortable opening up their wallet to go for bigger limits. So it's across the board, and it all stems to the fact that the risk itself is not articulated, not assessed, and not quantified correctly. And
Okay. So what we're getting to is that what you guys are doing. Tell me if I say it wrong. But what you guys are doing is you have what type of business clients? Enterprise, right?
Enterprise. Small,
Enterprise.
medium business.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. And so what you're doing is you're able to assess the risk, but you're also able to help underwrite the risk, right?
That's correct. So it's a two sides of the coin. Basically, on one side we have the technology that helps, as you said, assess the risk better, quantify the risk better. We call it Cowbell factors. We believe that a single factor is not good enough, or it's not even relevant or applicable the way it's used to underwrite all different type of coverages. What we do is we create sub factors or individual factors that gives us the insight into different aspects of the business. So certain risk actually tells you how is your risk posture around cloud, how is your risk posture around insider threat. So there is a lot of different sub factors that then are used in a algorithm to ultimately compute coverage premiums, the gaps, and whatnot. So it's a very interesting way of doing it. Now, of course, all these factors are calculated using machine learning and deep learning.
Yep.
The data that we get from a lot of different sources, including the proprietary data that we look at.
All right, okay, so I'm going to try to dumb this down here, okay? So for my small mind, so you're going into these clients and you're really, at this point, you're like a digital partner with them. You're able to assess the risk, you're able to underwrite it, and I'm assuming as the risk gets less risky, they could potentially have a better premium
Yes.
at some point. As it gets a little bit more risky, you're able to help them understand that risk, help them mitigate the risk,
You get
if,
it. You
if
said
possible.
it better than me. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
Yes.
look at this.
So
All right.
yeah, it's exactly. So the cyber is, can you believe it is underwritten once a year, right? It's even auto is underwritten twice a year, and the cyber, we all know the risk changes on a daily basis, right?
Right.
So the ideal point is to go UBI, usage-based cyber, monthly premiums. That's the best way. That's what's our North Star is. But the platform that we're building allows us to do continuous assessment and continuous underwriting, as you said. So the risk can change on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, and so are the Cowbell factors. And these Cowbell factors, as they change, because they are the one that's used for underwriting process, so does your premiums. So we're building from the get-go the underpinnings for a UBI type of a platform.
And I think this is as I was an insurance agent myself, and some people say, well, I want to make sure that I have a steady premium, all year, and then I'll look again. The problem is that doesn't always mean that we have the right coverage.
Exactly. So that's what happens, right? Today you may have done due diligence, you looked at the risk, and that's questionable. Quantification of risk is not happening correctly. Let's assume it's done.
Yep.
You did all the checks and everything, you quantified. It changes tomorrow.
Right.
So what happens is the gaps emerge, right? So let's say you're a small medium business. You had let's say 100,000 end users. Business is doing great. You got a policy, and your user base is doubling every other month, right? You got 400,000, a million users, and you get hacked. What happens? You file for cyber claims. They will only pay you that small premium, and your losses are ballooned, right?
Right.
So the gaps in this coverages and everything. That's why the continuous assessment is needed, right? You may think that, oh, my premiums are going up, But if it is actually going up, it's a good thing. That means you're doing more. You're
Right.
Or you could be doing bad in terms of you're not managing your risk.
But you may not have to pay as much for
Exactly.
that if it's
you
going
manage
down.
it, yes, exactly.
Right.
So,
All right, so that's a quick overview of Cowbell cybersecurity, and they're doing some crazy things. Now, you also just said today, I think you just said today that you guys did a raise, right?
well, we did last month. We announced it today. I think today is kind of our coming out party. We were in stealth mode. Today we announced our founding team, our investors, our funding. Right, so it's a big day for us, absolutely.
That's awesome. All right, well, we're going to keep checking out all the stuff at ITC, and hope you guys enjoyed.